This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Man United we're talking about.
This is Manchester 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 United we're talking about.
Oh, this is Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Manchester United we're talking about. Manchester United we're talking about here.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
I mean, this is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Man United we're talking about. It's Man United we're talking about. It is Man United we're talking about. It's Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Man United we're talking about.
This is Man United we're talking about.
It's Manchester United we're talking about.
We're talking about Manchester United.
People, this is Manchester United we're talking about, where we've got a few updates you might have already heard. I'm sure you've heard anyways. I just seen this Terrell Molasses stuff to Celtic. Not too sure that's exactly the greatest source in the world. Daily Express, anyone? But smash the likes if you've just heard this. It will go a long way, of course. It helps the video, algorithms, all of that stuff. Doesn't matter who you support, to be fair. You know, if you want to hear me talk some waffle, then you come to the right stream. Alanga's been sold. So we made a good, 5-6 million people? Yeah. So no excuses. Man United have no Ineos, and Man United have no excuses. Also, Maxi Oyedele is also being sold, and we're going to make 2.6 million off of that. So that's a whole 7.5 million that United can put up, and there's still no excuses. Mbeumo to United must be done this week. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we are all going to have a meltdown. Another meltdown, another video, another stream about Mbeumo. And you think, surely you've got no excuses to hide behind, because if you're going to get a 5 million, and I don't know how much millions that's up front, it could be 1 million, it could be it could be 1.5 million in cash, depending on how it's amortized. I don't know. But these lot got to stop pissing around. Even today, apparently a credible source, he reports on Fulham. We're just speaking about never a foul. Fulham, Brentford, Crystal Palace, those sort of sides, right? You know, he said that Brentford are growing frustrated with this Mbeumo deal. And I think they might be as well, considering that apparently, because according to them lot, that Spurs put in a bid beforehand. You know, United are still fucking around so much. It's actually annoying, because it's like we got a game in the next 11 days, I believe, against Leeds. And it's just like time is ticking, man. You know, that's next week. When's that? Next week, Sunday or something along them lines. And you don't have the man in the door over a measly few million. And I'm not here to stop glazing Ineos or protect them and say, but look at our cash, be realistic. Well, why did you buy the club in the first place then? If you knew that this was going to be the thing, then why did you buy Manchester? What did you buy a stake in it if you can't do the job correct, right? But anyways, no need to be negative. No need to be negative. It's just by the end of this month, by the end of August, we could be saying something completely different, or we can just literally have all our pitchforks out and we can go do the protests that don't work anymore. You know, we'll see what happens there. But I do believe in my own thoughts, feelings. You know, I do believe that Mbeumo is going to be done during this week, because if it lasts another week, then it really does show the super incompetence of United. You know, because we got this stuff with Sancho and Anthony, and I don't know why he keeps talking to Raul Batiste, because we had another update today. Don't know how credible it is with the wages. It's like, what happens when those players have been sold or their situations have been sorted out? You have no more excuses to fall on. I know United don't want to pay a heavy premium, but if it's true that they want 63 million up front, what was our last bid? Can someone remind me in the chat, by the way? Is someone in the chat? I can't. No, you let me know. Is it 55 million or 57 million plus add-ons? There's like a 5 million difference. So if they want that all up front, then surely they want something similar to Cunha. Then so be it. I don't think that's a bad deal, considering Anthony Elanga in this Premier League market has gone for 55 million, and we've received 5-6 million out of that. Then it's like, cool, that should make up the difference, right? If the 5-6 million valuation is that, then why don't you put that towards the Mbeumo deal? Because the cash is what we need, correct? And all the funds that we could have, as little as we do, that makes up this. You can't hide no more. You can't hide. If it's true that the player's growing frustrated, and I'm pretty sure he is, but from what I saw from before, which is, again, it's kind of contradictory. I do reckon with Brentford, I don't think they're growing frustrated. I think that might play into Man United's hands a little better than it does worse. If another club's growing frustrated, is it another bluff? They've already pulled 2 bluffs, and United don't really want to get taken a piss out of. I understand that part. But in an overall world of things, when you do all these transfers, it's like, but what if it's true? And what if they do walk away and they don't want to do business? United need to just wrap the deal up as soon as possible so we can go on and see that if it's Douglas Luiz or Richard Rios, who we're seeing being linked with Inter Milan. And who's the other club? Who's the other club he got linked with? It was Inter Milan, and I think maybe, is it Roma? It might have been Roma. I don't know. A top club, though. Either way. So, yeah. You got the money, Ratcliffe. You've got the money, Jason Wilcox. Hurry the fuck up. That's the real question. Just hurry up. I've had enough of this shit. Every day waking up to these random updates or recycle news where I've got to make some content. I've got to talk to you guys. And every time I do come on, I'll get that little bit more annoyed and a little bit more frustrated. But I don't really want to start calling anyone names and stuff. That doesn't do anything. I'm talking to a damn camera. But I'm desperate. I'm desperate to see some quality up front for next season. I can't do another season of watching someone that's absolute crap like Mason Mount come off the bench for all he needs. I don't mind him coming off the bench for 1 year, whatever the situation. He's probably going to get injured again anyways. I don't wish that on him, but it's more likely the case considering the last 2 years of his whole footballing Manchester United dynasty. Absolute wank. For 30 million euros, bro, what's wrong with United? I don't know. Anything that makes too much sense for United seems to be absolutely complicated. If we can't even put 5 million up, then who knows? We got talks of Erasmus Højlund to Roma on a loan deal. Now, United need to hurry up and just accept that. What's wrong with 1 year deal? Like put him out on loan. That means next year you can sell him for less. A lot less. Again, it seems a little bit too complicated for United when in our minds it's like, well, no one's going to pay 40 million for the guy or whatever it is, 37 million, 37.5 million. No one's paying for that because it's so many unknown variables. Yeah, you could go out on loan and have a bit of a stinker, but oh boy, then no one's going to buy him for sure. This has been coming for a while. Overpaying players, overpaying teams, chickens come home to roost. Yep, that's really it. And that's not on Ineos, obviously. Like, you have to, even if you don't like them, that's not on them. That's definitely not on them. But when Ratcliffe is providing messages to the United fan base saying, we're going to hire the best in class, if it comes down to doing a ruthless strategy, then that's what it's going to have to be to make this club run correctly. Then, I expect the best in class in negotiations. I expect the best in class in director of footballs. Not someone who's got minimal experience in there, who's just done a role for Southampton. And because you can't be bothered to go out there and have a proper look and go buy someone because you want a penny pinch, then, this is what we got. I don't know how good Jason Wilcox is in a director of football role. I don't think he's got any major experience or anything that says to me, oh, you know what? He's been doing this role for years. Bring him in. Richard Hughes was a director of football for Bournemouth for years. He's gone to Liverpool and look what they're doing. And you've got even interims linked these days to Newcastle. What? Since when has Southampton ever been a befitting job? I remember we were looking at Crystal Palace's that what's his name? Dougie Freeman. Like, look at the players that they've been bringing in recently. They've been good players, but he's gone off to flipping Saudi. So that's just where I'm kind of at the moment. And I just don't see how United can't. I don't know how we fumble a Mbeumo deal. See, I think it's a Brentford bluff. I don't believe they're telling the truth. I think they're trying to put pressure through the media on Manchester United because they know what the fan base is like, aka myself, aka you guys, some of you, right? So the more pressure that gets put on United, they're more likely to get this deal wrapped up, seeing that, said clubs like Arsenal are taking one of our targets in Gyökeres, and then other clubs are doing other bits of business. And we've only got one signing in the door in 1 month. I know there's like another, 23 days to go in July, but I don't care about the bluff. Overall, I don't give a shit. Go pay the money. What's 63 million in today's market for that player who scored, 20 goals and got like 8 assists or whatever the hell it was, is worth every penny. When we see other wingers like Madueke being like rumored around, 50 million pounds for him to go to Arsenal, you're like, well, Mbeumo was 10 times the player. And if they keep looking at these sort of deals that keep happening, aka your Elangas and whoever else might go to another team, they're going to say, well, my client or the guy we employ at this club is much better than all of them. Actually, we don't want 63 million. If you really want him, we want 70 million for reals. We want him. Otherwise, he can go somewhere else. Someone else will pay that money if he's available, right? There's a lot of dusty right wingers in the world right now. There's not a lot of them on the market that can probably do a job where you think, oh, you can probably get me 15 goals a season. It's a steal. Anyone that's saying walk away is a donut, in my opinion. Again, I'm sorry, just truth be told. But because it's like, what do you expect to go? What, go get someone like what, Tyler Dibbling for 40 million? What's he gonna do for us? I want him at wing back, not an attacking mid. Only if you're gonna get a bad boy striker, Cunha, and then Tyler, then it makes more sense. But we ain't got that because we might be resolved to just go and get Moise Kean, who we've just been linked with by the Athletic. But we're not going to pay that, what, 52 million euro release clause? We could do that. It's an easy deal, right? 40 odd million, but come on, man. Last time we dealt with Fiorentina, look at the Amrabat stuff. And I know that's before Ineos, to be fair, but that took a long time. That doesn't sound like a club that's easy to negotiate with in my eyes. Arsenal fans wanted a striker, still moaning. I don't think they are moaning. What we're going to do, save 10 million, get someone 5 times shitter. Exactly. That's where I'm at. You're not a United fan, Axe. You're a Chelsea fan, so that don't matter for that. Lou 65 for Mbeumo is a still. Big up to United Plus here. By the way, this is wait, Ems, are you going live afterwards? What's this? Oh, don't tell me this is Rudy Galetti. All right, cool. There might be another update. Rudy Galetti, AC Milan apparently are interested in Jean-Philippe Mateta. 30 million. Crystal Palace are open to selling with a price tag set at 30 million euros. No, that's fake. That's fake. They're never going to let him go for that price. Yeah, they're never letting him go for that price. Insane. Wait, yeah, are you... Ems, quickly text me if you're going after or not. Give me a sec, you lot. Ineos looking like they are at the moment. Big up Yosef. Oh, by the way, I don't know how many have we got in here? We got like 290, right? We got 68 likes. Need to start getting likes up in the stream. I really want to build like a good core community. Like, you don't have to be in a live chat. You could just be someone that watches every 5 minutes. You might need to go do some comeback, but it'd be nice to build a solid core where I know every time that you come in this stream, one, I'm going to bring up your comments and stuff, don't get me wrong, but it's more like just having a bit more of a feel about the channel. So anyone that can come in and just be like, yeah, you know what, Cass's channel, going to like the video. And if I can do anything for you guys, then just let me know, innit? So that's that. Big up anyone that's actually in the live chat. What the hell is going on in my... Allow it. Excuse me. I'm just coughing up all the bullshit Ineos has been feeding us for the last year. Big up Abdullah in the building. All the way from Malaysia, like it up. 200 people haven't liked this video. Yeah, exactly. Double A. And Mbeumo could end up getting frustrated himself by how long negotiations are going and will prefer to stay where he is eventually. I think he's actually, you know what? Wild guess. Have your own wild guesses. My wild guess is that he's desperate to join Man United. You know, he supports them. It's a boyhood team. He really wants to join. It's been going on for so long. I don't think he's going to be intrigued by the likes of Spurs as of yet. So I feel like he's so desperate to get this done. I don't think he's going to want to say, no, you know what, F this, let me go somewhere else. Because there is still a lot of time in the window. United's best friend right now is the fact that it's only the 8th of July. And we can't do much movement until other players move on anyways. But it'd be nice if we can have a focus on these other players that we need to move on. This whole Batiste stuff is actually pissing me off with Anthony, though. I don't know how credible it is, but come on, man. They've sold, 40, 50 million worth of players at the moment? Cardoso, Jesse Rodriguez, and whoever else it might be. What's the hold up? And I'm saying that the fee's not really the biggest problem. It's more of the wage stuff. It's like if Anthony loves that club so much, then surely he takes that wage cut wherever it's needed. Was it 105 million euros? Is that if they're offering something like that? Yeah, I have no idea. But then Mbeumo stuff is super frustrating, man. Should I go for 230? Yeah, about that. Send me the link as well. Potato. Why am I so childish, man? Why am I so childish? I'm nearly 30 years old and I'm still childish. Potato Head Barada told us the good times are coming. Nah. Why am I laughing at this? I'm such a child, man. Big up Bejero. Is that how you say your name? Bejero. Big up yourself, or Biero. Mike, there hasn't been any credible links to Richard Rios. Let's stop getting our hopes up. Just makes you more anxious for no reason. I'm gonna get onto that, Mike. But big up yourself for the I'm sorry, yeah. I just can't unsee the potato head thing. I'm sorry, man. Big up Noah in the building as well. You're all legends, man. Don't worry about it. I feel for Mbeumo. He's prioritized Man United for 6 weeks, but both clubs are being pricks. Yeah, in one hand, I can't get out of my mind. In one hand, you know, I know United are stalling on negotiations and they're putting up what they feel is fair, but in another breath, I feel like Mbeumo is such a nice guy. Like his character comes off and the demeanor he brings off is like he's very humble. And I don't think he's putting pressure on Brentford either. But in the same token, maybe Brentford are also being as much pricks by holding this deal up, not giving the player his wish, like so easily to go to United. So maybe it is a bit of both. Maybe it's not all on United. You know, we always say just pay. But then if we say overpay, then it's all, you know how it's going to go down in its fan base. It's going to go from one thing to another. It's stupid, can't be asked. Yeah, into a new stratosphere. But look, overall with this whole Mbeumo, every single day we're getting pretty much the same update. You know, this week, next week, coming days, positive, optimistic, another keyword, opportunity. There's a window. Talks are scheduled for the next coming days. It's all the same bollocks. But I feel like it has to be this week. At least before the first preseason game against Leeds. I don't know why we're playing them, but we are. We all seem to do this thing in Scandinavia every year, at least one game. So I feel like we're just going to have to be patient on this one until we can't be anymore, right? But moving on, it's the striker stuff. I saw that, and you know what? Let me get the whole link up as well, because I think that's actually fair for the reference point. I really want to start putting some reference points in the description so people can actually read it. And I know that you're not talking some absolute bullshit. I know I could split the screen and just share the screen, but that's just long, isn't it? But I saw that Rasmus Højlund and Roma might be a thing from Damasio. And Damasio, when it comes to Italian transfers, you can't exactly just rubbish that away. He must have some credibility in terms of that. I don't know if he's finished. I don't even know if he's got anything right of late. Maybe he just knows club-to-club transfers. But it says that, Roma will come forward. So he's actually putting his neck on the line, saying they will do it. Come forward to try to sign Rasmus Højlund in the next days. A loan will be needed. But as his 45 million euro valuation is too high for them. Look, I feel like they do need a striker. Dovbyk is not exactly hit the ground running, but bar that, they haven't got much going up front. They want someone maybe with a similar profile, then Højlund might be that. But Dovbyk's a better player than him. If they can go get Højlund on loan, then they're laughing. But I feel like if United are too stubborn with this whole Højlund stuff, at least get a loan fee for him. The worst case scenario is it's just a straight loan and you can't sell him. Realistically, we're not selling him. No one's buying him. Inter Milan are not buying him. They also wanted a loan. But we should ask for somewhat of a loan fee. At least get something. Because next year, if you get a loan fee of, let's say, I don't know, 5-6 million now, 7 million potentially, and then next year you can sell him for 30 million, then you can put that together, and then you've kind of made the money up, period, anyway. So that means there's a striker slot available. And that striker slot might be someone else in Italy, which we've seen, which is Moise Kean. They're talking about this 52 million euro release clause. That's an easy deal. I think that's something around 44 million pounds, 43 million pounds, might be, about that, 43 and a half, something similar to what we paid for Onana. I'm not sold on Moise Kean's goal scoring form. I don't even know how many goals he even scored for them last year. He's got a good catalogue of goals, though. I must admit, when it comes to that, it does look like he scores a different kind of, like, when it comes to the bottom corner, he looks like he knows what he's doing. He's definitely a very, very good footballer. For Fiorentina last season, he scored a whopping 19 goals and 3 assists. So he's kind of like, revamped his kind of career. His time at Juventus was nothing but dog shit, though. So it's at a club that's got no pressure. For me, there's no pressure there. United go scout there again. I feel like we're just doing the absolute wrong thing. must avoid going to get this player. And I know he's playing with worse players. And I know there's a lot of people that actually favour him. I've seen a couple people I follow saying we should go get him. He's a good footballer. But a good footballer gets you so far for me. You know, I don't think he's that bad. I don't think he's going to be like, I'm not going to be underwhelmed considerably if United say, you know what, this is the target we're going to get. But for 44 million, what doesn't make sense for me is that Watkins is pretty much what? The same price. You know, you put an extra 5 million, you get Watkins through the door, Premier League proven. Moise Kean's had his time, and I know he's been at Everton, but he was a lot younger, so I don't want to judge him. He had an all right time. But when you come to Juventus, when they needed a striker, he hasn't exactly shown the minerals, in my opinion. For someone who's had over 100 caps for them and only scored 22, 24 goals, I think that's nothing short of dog shit. You go to Fiorentina, obviously there's no pressure there. You can do whatever you want. Of course, you're going to probably score 19 goals. The ability is there. He's a solid footballer. Link-up plays nice. His passing's definitely nice. He's okay in the air. And when he's on his game, it is difficult to stop him. But it doesn't exactly put fear factor into teams, in my opinion. I feel like he'll take another adaptation period over in England, even though he's been there before. I don't think it's going to be a good transfer. I think it's going to be a waste of money. I'd rather United put all that money into getting someone like Edison, if he's your top central midfield target, and probably believing more in Xerxes to be the front runner than going to get Moise Kean. You know, I swear Xerxes scored something like 13, 14 goals in Bologna, which was kind of a defensive side as it is. Yeah, I don't think there's much difference, is there? I don't want Vlahovic either. He's rubbish. The one we must go and get, I think, the only option we've got left is either Mateta or flipping Watkins. Really and truly. And I know you lot are going to go and banter. I've seen it, you know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We're not getting him. All these strikers that are on freeze have been offered to Man United, and Man United have rejected them. Actually, how about this? It's funny because I'm having this ongoing joke in the Discord. If you want the Discord, let me know and I'll put it in the chat. I don't know if Mum Spaghetti's in there or Animal. If anyone wants to join in the Discord football chat, let me know. Someone can put it in there in a second. Pause. The only club interested in Calvert-Lewin is actually Newcastle. And that's the fans that's the ones I'm having banter with at the moment. JJ, Watson. To be fair, don't think the other Newcastle lot are trying to get on board, but that's the only ones. You know, Solanke from Spurs is a market opportunity cast. I would take Solanke in a heartbeat, but they don't want to get rid of him. You know, I still like Vissa. I think that could also be an option. If I have to go get Hobbs and Shaw, or United have to go and do it and says, you know what, we're bringing Brentford's attack to United, I'm like, yeah, calm. Go on, I don't mind. Because we're not getting Osimhen anymore. There was been an update earlier from Fabrizio saying it's pretty much everything that we already know. The guy who actually reported that said that, you know, United requested some sort of pay, like the lower your wage demands. That got rejected. So the Osimhen stuff's off the table. If the guy wants to stay in Europe and be about his money, then so be it. That means we're not getting him. That's completely off. Anyone that's been, I don't know, you know what? That actually puts me at ease. That guy that put out that stuff about Osimhen's being the number one target, all of this stuff. I got told he's very close to him. He's a childhood friend. He's always around him. Yeah, he can go in the bin. That source there, I don't know if he listens to this, but you're shit. Whatever you say, you're shit. You're just as bad as fucking, what's his name? That Marco Alcaraz guy who thinks people actually think this guy's a credible link. People actually think he's got some actual sources in a bank. No, you're dog shit. That guy on top, he's down in a bin with that flipping Ross Harwood guy. Rubbish. United are lacking options. So that means teams can take the piss. So when it comes to Aston Villa and us negotiating, they know that we've only got Watkins and nobody else as a target. They're going to take the piss. They're going to want top dollar. His profile picture's AI. That's crazy. So, boy. But moving on. Richard Rios' price has been revealed. We love this saying. Market opportunity, right? Central midfielders. I don't even know why we're even talking about more signings when we can't even afford 5 million extra to go and get Mbeumo at the moment. No, nothing imminent. But Richard Rios, they're saying 30 million euros. That is about what? Is that 27 million pounds? 26.5 million pounds? That's an absolute steal for someone who might get, it depends on where, actually, you know what? Is it, who have they got? Who have Chelsea got tonight? Because they just knocked out Palmeiras, didn't they? So that means they've got Fluminense left. For someone for me who's probably taken a spotlight from most central midfielders in the whole Club World Cup, you get a little bit more of a viewing on them. If you watched the Copa America last year, you would see for Colombia that this guy was running ragged and he was doing all sorts. He might be more of an attacking kind of sided box-to-box player, but if you actually go see what he does in terms of stats, because obviously that's the only thing I can kind of go by in clips. You know, he's really good at recoveries, interception rates very high, tackling rates very high, but he likes to pass the ball forward. So basically everything we've asked for Agate and more. Except the guy, he just don't like to pass forward. He likes to play sideways. Still a good player, and I still think he's going to be useful. There's another opportunity for United to go and get someone that's cheap. You know, this whole Edison stuff, I don't think is happening unless it's a perfect window. I've said that, 5-10 times. Don't have to convince you lot. I don't know what central midfielders other than Richard Rios, who we have been linked with. Apparently, we've been scouting him. So if we're going to go for that, and you want to believe that, then we're linked. At the moment, Italian clubs are showing the most interest more than Premier League clubs. The only Premier League clubs that have been linked with him is us, Nottingham Forest, and Everton. And I think Newcastle had an interest as well. I think I see their name somewhere along them lines. So if it's just Richard Rios, I still think United's number one midfield target is actually going to be Douglas Luiz. If we're going off again, that United's had some more recent contacts with Douglas Luiz's camp, reignited that interest to see what the conditions will be. I do feel like that's going to be the man. But I just feel like Rios is going to be one of those players. He goes to a team like Brighton. Let's just say Brighton. No other team wants him. Forest, Brighton, maybe Brentford. Maybe these top Italian teams don't go in for him because they're not going to pay the wages. I do actually believe he's going to be worth at least, 80, 100 million? You know, he's at a good age. I think he's like 25 or 26, right? He's going to be that one of them players. He's going to be worth so much money. And it's going to be another one where we look at it and say, oh, United missed out on this player because we decided to go sign, I don't know, someone completely different to whoever I just said. Go get someone from another league. Let's be real. Let's be honest. We always tend to do this. You know, when it comes to our scouting is actually very fine. It's just every time it goes to somebody else in terms of, let's say, I don't know, Caicedo missed out on him. Julian Alvarez missed out on him. Who do we go and sign? No, I'd rather go get Christian Eriksen on a free. What? So you missed out on 5 million Caicedo. Julian Alvarez, you know, he was tipped to 17 million. Who did we go and sign? I can't remember what striker we signed. Who was it? Who did we get as in attack? We got somebody completely different. Started scouting Højlund or Anthony or something like that? Absolute bollocks. Kudus, our scouts came up with Kudus. They said Kudus would be a good fit. He's going to cost, from Ajax, by the way, it's going to cost you, 25, 30 million, I think it was at the time. No, I want Anthony. Oh, we got Weghorst, that's the one, on loan. That's why I don't really want to miss out on this. If our scouts say we want him, Richard Rios is the guy, and this is Ineos, not obviously SEG, Ten Hag, and all the other bullshit behind that, Richard Arnold. If they go and scout him, I think we should go and listen to the scouts for once. Not all the time what the manager needs and wants. I know, because I've got this 10 Hag PTSD. 27 millions is still. Douglas Luiz 25 millions is still. Hayden Hackney, who I believe is, again, one of them Wharton type players where you look at him, someone else buys him, he's going to be worth 70, 80 million in next year's time, in a year's time. Even him, they're talking about 15, 20 million. Go get him then. There's so many good opportunities for United to go and get. It's just like, okay, we do that. We probably end up with flipping Decore, who's on a flipping free from Everton. Who's Keith Smith? Who's Keith Smith, man? Please, I don't know anything. You lot are having me on. Is that a real player? Is that real? Are you lot trying to have you lot are trying to have me on, innit? That's not even a real name, is it? Oh my god, he's actually correct. He's a Dutch footballer. No more Dutch, man. And he's ginger as well. Oh, he looks like Paul Scholes. Never mind, maybe. He plays for AZ Alkmaar. He's 19 years of age. He's about 5'11". Okay. Never seen him. He's a central midfielder, and his other position. Oh no, he's not. He's not. He's tall. He's grown then. He's like 6'1". It says at other positions, attacking midfielder. So I'm not convinced by him already. Okay, what did he get in this season? Let's have a little look. Considering he's a real person now. He got, as a centre mid, you can play defensive mid as well. Okay, that's cool. He got no goals and no assists in the Eredivisie. How about no then? Nah. He only got 1,000 minutes in the Dutch league. Yeah, nah, we're good. Beautiful. Maybe he's a youngster that is he one of them players that, you know, Jason Wilcox is going to go and get for cheap over in the Dutch league and just put them in the academy or put them out on loan. If he's that, then cool. He might be a youngster. He might just be one of them good youngsters that have potential and that you're going to go buy him for something cheap. I don't think he's going to be exactly a central midfielder that comes straight in the first team. Come on, man. I don't know who he is. I've never heard of him. I didn't know he existed. And then now I'm hearing, oh my God, that's not even the worst part. Oh my God. One more thing. Leeds are actually trying to go, they're trying to buy Vanya Milenkovic-Savic. And I'm seeing pictures of Onana smiling as he's coming. I mean, look, he seems like a happy dude, isn't it? I'm not going to get over, what's he meant to be miserable, right? This whole overboard of, oh my God, why is he smiling? Why is he come to United? He's smirking. It means he hates us. Oh my God. Golden back at it again. Oh my God, Onana, no. Oh, fuck off. Of course he's going to be happy, man. Some of us must mean that these fucking players must be miserable every time they come into their jobs that pay them thousands and thousands. Stupid. Anyways, Leeds are about to go nick another one of our targets. We're getting one of our targets that I really want. It's going to go to Leeds. We might be playing against him in pre-season. It's crazy. And then looking at the fee, what is it, 17 million? Oh, God. No, I don't want that. Don't want that. What are you lot saying? Anana's smiling at you. You lot are taking the piss. By the way, make sure you like and subscribe as well. 129 likes. If we get this to 150, that's dope. So yeah, Ten Hag selling Cobra again. I see that as well. I see that. There's something about that man. He just don't like him. I mean, he hasn't exactly had the best time ever, has he? I wouldn't say he's had the best time. I thought he was a lot better. I thought he was going to be a lot better than what we thought. I mean, surely he's better than none of those. So why isn't Ten Hag buying some of these other players? That's my question. Why are you not coming to get your boys? Stupid, isn't it? Anyways, we're gonna go redirect to United Plus. It's M's. You might have seen his face before. You might have seen him with somebody else. So if you want to continue the United chat, if everyone supports me, then you're gonna have to go support this guy. And we're trying to help as much people out when to build their communities as well. If you don't fancy it, obviously that's down to you lot. I'm not forcing you guys, but go give it a chance. It's gonna go over there like right now. We do it for Touchline pretty much all the time, but we're going to be redirecting over to this channel quite a bit to build the status, and hopefully you lot can enjoy that show. It's a double act, so it's not just one, it's two. So yeah, it's a little bit different. Yeah, hopefully you lot can go and vibe. But big up to everyone. I'm going to be back later on about 11. Never a Foul is going to be done at 10 after the Chelsea game. Going to do a watch along for that on Big Up as well. So yeah, man.